Hey everybody, it's Michael. I'm back again with another expansion overview video, and today I'd like to show you Terraforming Mars Colonies. Colonies is the fourth expansion for Terraforming Mars. It was published in 2018. The version I have here is the English one from Stronghold Games and FryxGames. And as always, what I'd like to do next is show you everything that comes in the box. Enjoy! So, these are the contents of the expansion. To actually use them for setup, you put out this trade fleets tile. Put one trade fleet on there for each player in the game. So let's suppose we have a 3-player game. Each player marks their fleet with one of their cubes. You can set out this reference tile. It basically has the same information as the tile over here, but if somebody maybe can't read it, or if two players want to read it at once, you can use this one. Then there's a number of colony tiles. You shuffle them up and deal out the number of players plus 2. So in a 3-player game, that's 5 tiles. And the others are not used in this game. Also note that in a 2-player game, you also deal out 5 tiles and not 4. Also as part of setup, you would take one of these white markers and put it on the second space of each of these tracks. How to interact with these colonies? There's basically 2 possibilities. The first one is a new standard project called Build Colony, and for 70 mega credits you get to place a new colony. You do that by taking one of your cubes and put it on the leftmost empty space on one of these tracks. So for example, if the yellow player wants to build a colony on Pluto, he'd place his marker here. He'd receive the so-called placement bonus, in this case 2 cards, and that's it. He now has a colony on Pluto. Over on Europa, for example, you'd get to place an ocean tile. On Triton, you'd get 3 titanium. On Luna, your mega credits income would be raised by 2. And on Io, your heat income would be raised by 1. And then, for example, the red player could also build a colony on Pluto on his turn. And if you ever need to place your tile where the white marker is, you simply bump it up by 1 space. And so red would place a colony here and also get 2 cards. As you might see, there's only 3 spaces with placement bonuses on each of the colonies. Then it can never be more than 3 colonies on any one of these tiles. So for example, the blue player could still go here, but that's it. Also, nobody can have more than 1 colony marker on a given colony. So for example, if the space was still free, then neither red or yellow could go there. And that's building a colony. Basically, you put a colony down, you get the placement bonus, and that's it. But your colonies are still important, and we'll see why in a second. Now, the trade step. First of all, you have to pay. You can either pay 9 mega credits, or 3 energy, or 3 titanium, and then you can move your trade fleet to any of the colonies. It has to be empty, so if another trade fleet was already there, then you couldn't go there. Then you'd gain the trade income, and this is an amount of cards where X equals the position of the white marker on the track. Right now, for trading with Pluto, you'd get 2 cards. Suppose the red player would come to Io instead, and let's say that the white marker was over here, and we'll see in a second how it gets there. Then he'd be able to get 8 heat. On Triton, you get a certain amount of titanium. On Luna, you get mega credits, not mega credit income, but mega credits. And on Europa, you'd get an increase in income on either mega credits, energy, or plants, depending on where the marker was. After you've received your trade income, everybody who has a colony on the tile will get the colony bonus. If we stay with this example, nobody would get a colony bonus because there are no colonies over here. But for example, if we had gone to Pluto, everybody who has a colony there may, as a colony bonus, draw a card and then discard 1. On Europa, they'd get 1 mega credit. On Triton, 1 titanium. On Luna, 2 mega credits. And on Io, 2 heat resources. And then, as the final step of your trade action, you'd drop the white marker as leftmost as possible. So on Pluto, if it was at 2, it wouldn't move at all. If it had been on 4, it would drop down to this space. So basically, the more colonies there are, the higher the marker starts again for the next cycle. Suppose once again we'd trade it with Io, then if it was on the 8, it'd drop all the way down to here. And then at the end of each generation, after the production phase, a so-called solar phase would happen. This was already introduced in Venus Next. In the first stage, we'd check for the game end. In the second step, we'd do the world government terraforming which was introduced in Venus Next and will only happen if we're playing also with Venus Next. And then in the third step of the solar phase, we do the colony production. That is that all trade fleets return to the board and can be used again in the next generation. Also, this colony is free again, somebody else could go there. And finally, each marker is bumped up by 1 space. And once it's high enough again, of course, somebody will hopefully have enough motivation to go there and trade again. The other colonies are rather similar. Ganymede is all about plants, Ceres about steel production, Callisto energy, and finally there are 3 more tiles which are a bit more special. Miranda is about animals, Titan is about floaters that were introduced in Venus Next but also make quite a big appearance here, and finally Enceladus is about microbes. And since these 3 are not standard resources, if they're in the game, the white marker will not start on here but actually over here. And as soon as at least one player has a card that can use these resources, then this colony gets active, it can be colonized, it can be traded with. And finally, if you were to play the solo mode with the Colonies expansion, then you'd reduce your mega credits production by 2 steps. You'd draw 4 colony tiles and choose 3 of those to keep. And you do this at the same time as every other of your decisions. So basically, while you're choosing your cards in your corporation. For the rest that comes with the expansions, there are a couple of cards left. Let's maybe first start with the corporations. These 3 new corporations down here don't introduce any new or special effects, but these 2 up here interact with the colonies effect. Poseidon, as their first action, plays a colony, and whenever a colony is placed, including the one they get to place first, they can increase their mega credit production by 1. And Eridor, as their first action, put an additional colony tile into play, so there will be 1 more, and they get to choose which one exactly. Then there's a whole bunch of new project cards. Let's just take a look at some of them. The trading colony. When you play, you can place 1 colony, which is actually more expensive than the 17 you normally pay, but as an ongoing effect, whenever you trade, you get to increase the marker on the track by 1. The Titan floating launchpad lets you add floaters to Jovian cards, or you can spend floaters on this card to trade for free. Community services does not interact with the colony mechanic, but it's nevertheless interesting. When you play this, you look at how many cards you have that don't have attack at all, including this one, and you increase your mega credit production by 1 for each such card. The Cryosteep has an ongoing effect. Whenever you trade, you pay 1 less resource for it, which is of course great because trading is expensive. Ecology Research lets you, among other things, increase your plant production by 1 step for each colony that you own. The Ice Moon Colony not only lets you place a ocean tile, but a colony as well. The Interplanetary Colony Ship is an event that also lets you place a colony. Market Manipulation lets you increase 1 colony tile track by 1 step and then decrease another one. Mining Colony lets you place a colony and increase your titanium production. The Pioneer Settlement lets you place a colony, but only if you have at most 1 already. And it also decreases your mega credit production. The Productive Outpost doesn't cost you anything, but it lets you gain all your colony bonuses, which could be quite a lot if you have many colonies. The Research Colony is interesting because not only does it allow you to place a colony and get 2 cards, but the colony can be placed where you already have 1. This is again a card that lets you pay 1 less resource when trading. The Sky Dogs let you get another trade fleet, so basically you can trade twice per generation, and so does the Spaceport, among other things. And finally, the Spaceport Colony requires that you already have 1 colony, but then you get to place another one. It can go somewhere where you already have 1, and you also gain a trade fleet. And finally, you'll get 1 point for each 2 colonies in play. And that's basically it. That's my overview of Terraforming Mars Colonies. As always, thanks for watching, have fun playing, and until next time, bye bye.